Russell Westbrook made a costly late turnover and scored 10 points fewer than his season average in the Rockets' loss to the Thunder last night. Expectations were high for Houston after trading for Westbrook last summer. And now the Rockets face elimination tomorrow night. So, Shannon, how big is Game 7 for Westbrook's legacy here?
It's huge, Skip, for the simple fact he has not made it out of the first round since Kevin Durant left. He's 5-13 in the playoffs since KD left.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, this is how we measure great players.
Mm-hmm.
You can be great, Skip.
Yep.
But I think that's one of the things when we look at Karl Malone won 2 MVPs,
Mm-hmm.
Charles Barkley won an MVP, but they don't get the proper recognition because they didn't have the championship success that some of the other players of that era had. Mm-hmm. And that's ultimately how we measure. That's how we determine the great from the greatest. Mm-hmm. I mean, you skip it, and this is not to diminish Russ because I think he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He did what he did. He went 3 straight years with triple doubles. He won an MVP. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, ultimately, we measure greatness. What did you do in the playoffs? Because that's what you play for. You play for championships. At the end of every year, no matter what sport you play, they have a championship. Did you win it? How many times did you win it?
Yep.
Is ultimately how you're going to be judged. Skip it. If you look at the Rockets, they've blown the lead in all 3 games in which they lost. They were up by 5 with 1 minute to play in Game 3. They didn't have Russ. They were up 13, third quarter. Game 4, no Russ. Up 6 with 4 minutes. They had Russ last night. But if you go back and look at Russ, Skip, he hadn't got out of the first round. And he hadn't played particularly well in big moments. And Kevin Durant left because too many times in these situations, you monk it up for us, bro.
Yep.
And I don't want to be a part of this anymore.
That is correct.
Because, unfortunately, Skip, when you play together for an extended period of time, my legacy tied to your legacy.
That is right.
Guess what? You tied to O'Shea now. All that what you done, you tied with me. So if you don't do it, we like, yeah. If they throw you overboard, guess what? I'm right there with you. We going overboard. And Jenny in there too. So hey, anybody go overboard, we all. Yep. So that's it.
All right, back to Russell Westbrook. I have tried for years to believe in this man as a basketball player. And I always get right to the edge of this cliff, and I can't quite take the leap because of what you said. Last year, he got humiliated and sent home by Damian Lillard.
Correct.
Remember that?
Yep.
And here we go again. It feels like, for the most part in the series, Houston has played a little better without Russ. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go double huge on Game 7 because, yeah, his legacy is on the line because this was the grand experiment, small ball, but it was also the James Russ experiment.
Right. They wanted this.
They wanted it, and they love each other, and I do believe they really love each other, and they've gotten along as well as anyone could get along with James and anyone could get along with Russ. These two have done it.
Yes.
They have coexisted beautifully until last night. That was a disaster. You're up 6 with 4:19 left, and you give up a 16-2 run down the stretch, and I start to question everything about you, and I've always wondered this about this man, and he plays with such heart and rage and passion. Is he playing for himself or for his team? Is he playing for stats or dubs? I don't know for sure. It's somewhere in the middle of that. Well, this is Game 7. You have to play to win.
Yep.
You have to make some sacrifice and coexist and blend with James and get this home against a team you should beat.
Right.
It's a well-coached team. It's a tough-minded team. It's a clutch team. So if you let it hang around and hang in, you're probably going to lose it. But if you flex all your muscles and use your heads correctly, you're just better than they are. And your team is mentally tough, too. It plays good defense, and it shoots a lot of threes, but it will make a lot of threes. So, to me, I need to see if he has the savvy and the guile and the vision to do what needs to be done to win Game 7 and get to the Lakers. Now we're talking. Now we got you two versus LeBron and AD. We've got some big theater here where you can make a big name for yourself. But first, you got to get out of the first round
exactly.
against a team nobody saw coming.
No. No.
This was rebuild city.
Everybody thought it was
for
rebuild.
Oklahoma City. And look at them now. They tied you in the regular season, and now they've tied you in a playoff.
Skip, I think the thing is for Russ is that he's going to have find value. Says, you know what? Even if I don't score 25 points and we win, I play good.
Yeah.
Don't cut down on the turnover.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, Skip, don't just think this is tied to Russ. Oh, James Harden's legacy is tied to this one, too.
I do agree with you. And both of them have done magical things during regular season.
Absolutely.
Like revolutionary.
Right,
They've
right.
both been
Yes.
revolutionary. It's playoff.
Yeah, because what, James has led the league in scoring, what, 3 straight years?
Yeah.
And led the league in assists. I mean, he's won an MVP. He's finished, second a couple of times. But the playoff success has eluded him. And, you're in an era now.
Yep.
We're going to see. Skip, this is huge for those two guys. If you lose, Skip, I believe this loss would do more damage to their legacy than any other loss in their playoff history, in their careers.
Agreed.
I don't agree, too. All right, we love a good Game 7. And before that one, we actually have one tonight between two of the hottest players in the league, and it has been a good one. We discuss next. Giannis Antetokounmpo is expected to win a second straight MVP award for this season. Giannis has already won Defensive Player of the Year and would join Michael Jordan and Hakeem Olajuwon as the only players to win both in the same season. However, Giannis and the one-seed Bucks find themselves down 0-1 for the second straight series after losing to the Heat last night. So, Shannon, is Giannis overrated?
No, he just had a below-average game yesterday, Skip. Basically, in the regular season, he was 30, 14, and 6. And in the playoff this year, he's 30, 16, and 6. Skip, those are Shaq numbers. He's a dominant player. He had an off day, and it's easier, Skip, when you get to the playoffs if you're just on an island. Because as Chris Middleton is an all-star, we don't look at Chris Middleton as a superstar. We don't look at him as an Anthony Davis. If you look at LeBron, once he got Kyrie, it became a lot more difficult for you to take LeBron away because you had to worry about Kyrie cooking you. When he went to Miami, you tried to take LeBron away, he had D-Wade. So if you have a 1-2 combo, and that's what Shaq had with Kobe, a young Kobe, and I don't think anybody's going to confuse and say, well, Chris Middleton is Kobe. No, he's not. He ain't going to ever be Kobe. So for me, Skip, they built the wall. They said, Giannis, you're not coming in here. They just slammed the door, so shoot over the door. You do everything you need to, but you're not coming in here. This little area out here is stay out of, caution. So that's what they're doing. But I don't think Giannis is overrated, Skip. I mean, he's freaky. I mean, 7 foot tall with a 7'3" wingspan, athletic, 2 dribbles from half court. He's at the rim, and he's getting better. He's gonna be the MVP, Skip. I think we all agree on that. A 2-time MVP. There are very few people that have won MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. I think there have only been 3.
3. Jordan, Olajuwon.
And David Robinson.
No.
4 now. David Robinson won defensive, not in the same year.
Not in the same year as Jordan and Olajuwon.
So and Olajuwon ended up winning the championship that year also. Yep. So, Skip, you're talking about only 4 people total will ever have won an MVP and a Defensive Player of the Year. That's the company that Giannis is in. He's had a bad first game. But let's not write him off. Let's not, put too much into it. And even last year, Skip, he was 25-12 in the playoff run. So 25-12, you like, but now he's superstar times your MVP. You get judged a little different than this just being Giannis Antetokounmpo. Mm-hmm. You get judged by Greek freak. And so the criticism is a little bit more harsh.
So I guess mine's going to be over hard. But you know how I feel about the NBA playoffs. This is when you make your rep and your money.
Yeah.
You got to do it now. All those long stretches of regular season dominance, all that PER Prince stuff that we used to see from Anthony Davis when he was in New Orleans.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it from Giannis now. They remind me of each other, not in games, but in impact.
Well, Skip, they say superstars are made in the regular season. Legends are made in the postseason.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
So we'll find out. We're about to find out.
I haven't seen legendary from Giannis in the postseason. And I thought about this because it reminds me, Anthony AD in New Orleans, he never could lift that up. He was a sub-500 player in New Orleans. Well, he had some help here and there for a while. He had Boogie and he had Rondo, playoff Rondo for a while, and they won a series.
Right.
And yet, now you put him alongside your man, you got something.
Right.
where he's a little more in his comfort zone. LeBron can put him in a basketball comfort zone. And obviously, he is a far better shooter than Giannis has so far even thought about.
Yeah, I don't know if Giannis will ever be able to shoot the ball like that.
Like that? So what if you put Giannis alongside LeBron right now? What if you swapped out? You put AD up there in Milwaukee pretty much by himself. What would the result be? Could Giannis and LeBron go places? Could they win a championship together? Maybe, but you got one big problem. AD is a free throw making machine.
Right.
And Giannis is not.
Right.
He's a sub 50% free throw shooter, and it seems like the deeper you get in the playoffs, the worse he gets. Okay, so could he take the spotlight? Could he share the limelight with LeBron James? I just need to see, again, something more than what we saw the last 4 games. We saw him last year against Toronto. They lost 4 in a row after they went up 2-0.
Right.
In those 4 games, look at the fourth quarters. They're all close games.
Right.
Here we go again. In the fourth quarters, he shot 35%. He's a 55% regular season from the field shooter because you can't say he's a freak.
Right.
He's finger rolling.
Yeah.
He's scoring at will in the lane because during the regular season, people don't play him the way they do in the postseason.
Right.
And from the free throw line, last year in those 4 fourth quarters, he was 5 of 13. Well, that's horrendously bad. It's not enough free throws, number one, and it's not enough makes, number two. And he was a minus 29 total plus minus in those 4 fourth quarters. They lost all 4 games, and then it happened again last night. Fourth quarter, he goes 1 of 4, 0 for 2 from 3. He was trying to do something to open up the lane, obviously. 1 of 4 from the free throw line, and he had 2 turnovers. And the last one came that it was pretty hopeless.